Hey everybody, it's Chris from T206 Cards with our top 5 video when it comes to our 5 best or 5 favorite T206 cards. In our last video last week, we covered 6 through 10, and I'm excited to share with you what my top 5 favorite cards are. So without further ado, let's get to number 5. Coming in at number 5 on my list is, hey, no surprise, the polar bear back, but this one is of Hal Chase. So Hal Chase actually has 5 cards in the T206 complete set, and then in the polar bears, he actually has 3 cards. So Hal Chase is connected to the Sox Scandal. He was never banned from baseball. He was arrested, I think, as part of the investigation, but he something with the money, being the middleman, fronting some of the money. But Hal Chase was a known gambler back in his day, but definitely not banned from baseball, but definitely connected to the Black Sox Scandal. And so there is card number 5. My 4th favorite card in my T206 set is actually just a kind of a random player, but Lee Tannehill. His claim to fame is he was the first player to hit a home run in Comiskey Park. But the reason why it's my 4th favorite card is from a back rarity list. This is a Sovereign 460, so not in the top 10 for rarest backs. I believe it's number 16 when you look at all 30 plus backs for T206. But this is my lone Sovereign 460, and this is my rarest back at the moment. So that is why Lee Tannehill is card number 4. Speaking on Black Sox Scandal, and when you look at my 3rd favorite card, this again is a polar bear back, but this is of Chick Gandil, obviously the ringleader of the Black Sox Scandal. So this is PSA 3, and one that I won recently at an auction at REA, and I think just from a visual perspective, this card is stunning for being as old as it is, and the card overall is just great. So for a gentleman who is banned from baseball, this is definitely in my top 3 at the moment when it comes to my T206 set. So there is card number 3, Chick Gandil. My 2nd favorite card is a card of a player that I really wanted to own ever since I was learning about the T206 set. This player's name and story was mentioned on the Monster podcast, and if you're new to T206 or just a big fan of the set overall, I would definitely recommend checking out the Monster podcast. But this is my 2nd favorite card of my set right now is Dali Stark. And Dali Stark is nobody terribly famous. I mean, he is a Southern Leaguer, so he's here in his San Antonio uniform. This is an old millback. But Dali Stark lived a very rough life, and at the age of 39, he was killed gunfire at a bar in Memphis. So you can only think about what that scene was like in 1924, what a gunfight would look like at a bar after an argument. So just, I think, an incredible story, and somebody who would have been lost to history if he wouldn't have had a baseball card. So this got kind of a neat story overall, and that is why Dali Stark is right now my 2nd favorite card in my T206 set. So my number 1 favorite card is, so no surprise here, it is a polar bear back. Ton of wear on it. It's obviously stained at the top there. A little bit of tobacco right over the S in best, and you can see the indent here on the side. You would think that maybe somebody back in the day had this rubber banded together in another stack of cards, but obviously there's a nice wear pattern there from a potential rubber band. But as we all know, polar bear is my favorite back of the T206 set, but my number 1 favorite card right now is Christie Mathewson. Everyone knows his story, his legacy. We do know that he was one of the first 5 Hall of Famers ever inducted into the Hall of Fame. He was the only one who was dead when he was inducted. Obviously, he died in 1925, and he was inducted in the Hall of Fame in 1936. The other 4 were all alive. So he knew how great he was back in the day, but he never knew that he would be in the Hall of Fame when he passed away 11 years before he was inducted. But this card, obviously in great shape, is gonna be a pretty penny, especially in a polar bear back. I picked this card up for just over $250. Obviously, condition is what drove the price, but I felt for a binder set and for my price range and my budget, this was the perfect card for the set. Maybe one day in the future, I will own an upgraded version of this card, but for now, starting the first year of my T206 journey, I think having a card of this condition and a player of this notoriety is just fantastic to have, and it's why it's my number one card at the moment in my T206 set. So there it is, guys. Those are my top 5 favorite cards currently in my T206 set. I will be doing a top 10 polar bear set, or top 10 for the polar bear back for T206. So check my channel out for that here soon. And also, I did post a video the other day about our new eBay consignment services available through our eBay store. Please check that out. Good way to sell your cards, really with no risk to you, as I'm covering all the fees and all the potential returns. So please check that video out. And always, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks, and have a great one.